Hello, YouTube. What a weird segue to segment, and I appreciate you guys being here. Here we go. I think there's nothing else to say other than that. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. We just got done talking out of some weird topics, and from weird, let's go to even weirder with Bakemonogatari. So I'll be honest, with Bakemono in general, I appreciate the show. I really do. But it's been a lot of fucking trouble for me, personally. Both on Twitch and on YouTube with a lot of copyright claims. The editing is really hard to do for the show for whatever reason. And there are some fans that are toxic in this environment as well. But that's okay. There's fans that are toxic in every environment. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and go into it.
っていうか、お前は多分マジで僕の血肉少なからず
Oh
飲み込んじゃって
gosh.
るから、その発言はかなりしちゃってさ。すると、今までいい子だった分反動が来てさ、言葉にならない気まずさみたいなものがあってな。兄ちゃんはそんなことだから。そんなことだから僕はいつまで経っても大人になれないんだってさ。いつまでも大人になれない子供のままだそうだ。
子供ですか。では私と同じです。
お前と一緒ってわけじゃないと思う。
And let's be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I don't give a shit. If you have a really like a pessimistic, negative attitude towards like socializing, i.e., you're gonna have a hard time making friends, right? Naturally speaking, like unless you find other people for some reason click with you, like there's a natural urge for people to try and make friendships, and so on, so forth. Um, you know, but like I don't know how else to put it. Like if you have a pessimistic nature and you start like just pressing down on individuals, especially as you grow older and as you start becoming more hormonal and you start questioning your own belief structure and what's there and what's not there. What you can do is you can literally build up a wall of either like self-indulged hatred towards your parents or like uh you know a sort of weird perspective where you think everyone is against you when no one is really against you. It is quite literally just a schema that you're building because you need it to cope with the reality that you're set in, which is sad. It is a sad way of saying, hey, you probably should get mental help. And instead of getting mental help, you decided like I'm gonna go ahead and like develop this weird schema. Granted, I don't think you have any control over it to try and like cope with the fact that like maybe my parents are too busy to pay attention to me, and maybe I am failing in classes because I don't have the motivation to actually get up and do something. Yeah, maybe that girl rejected me not because of the fact that like I'm not good looking, but because I'm not showing any actual genuine interest to be with her, and I'm just trying to follow a societal trend. There's 1,001 like I don't know how to put it. Okay. Should we do? Should we do some like some stigma work, guys? Do you guys think we should like break down what a stigma is in a schema inside of these characters? Yeah or nay? I'm sorry, you guys made this way too fucking easy. Ah. You guys made this too fucking easy. You guys kept doing this on the side, so I had to join in. But no, stigma is actually a real concept in psychology. And one of the big things with that is essentially the way that we're like made to think about things, the way that we process things, the way that we even AZ is like, damn, the way that we allow our environment to influence us. So you can even point to like Brofenbrenner's theory, right? And this chair is long and comfy. Brofenbrenner's theory and start doing, you guys know how to do it. We did it last week or the previous stream on Moshiko Tensei. So if you guys want to go ahead and do something like this and figure out, granted, you might have to ignore paranormal elements when it comes to this particular show, But if you guys are up to the challenge, you guys can go ahead and do something like that and try and understand where this character is coming from. One of the big takeaways that I can't understand is, like, for example, if say that this individual is extremely arararakun, whatever, dude, ara is like pessimistic in nature per se, right? He's experienced 1,001 things. Let's say that he has really positive, annoyingly positive sisters or brothers or something, you know? How do you, as an individual, like, say that you were in his shoes, how do you deal with annoying siblings? How do you deal with annoying parents or parents that don't want to go ahead and like be there for you? And also, if this weird snail thing is like there, right? Ghost of a person thing is there. What do you do? How do you think about it like this? When you're relating to a ghost or a snail, what does that mean? You know? Maybe you are the one that's lost. Oh gosh. Oh dude. Alright, we're back. Yeah, I was just processing that.
あんな感じの取っ組み合いなら妹相手にしょっちゅうでね。まあ、取っ組み合いの喧嘩ならどっちかが謝って終わりなんだよな。
Okay. Would you guys punch an elementary schooler? Yeah? Would you guys punch an elementary schooler? Yeah, okay, most no. Master says no. Anyone else? Maybe. Okay, why? Where are the limitations? I'm a big ass adult. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, dude. I mean, I teach martial arts, and sometimes, you know, you have to teach them how to kick and whatnot. But I would never, absolutely not, like, oh, okay, take away all the extreme elements. Say that, you know, you are in the situation that Ara Kun is in at the moment. Would you guys punch this individual? There's no extremity. They're not trying to, you know, so on and so forth. Would you guys go to that extent? See, what I would find, what I find interesting is individuals that instantly revert to like, yeah, but you're not gonna go to like actually trying to punch or like put her in a chokehold or like a drop kick her or do like a sweet chin music and like hit her directly in the chin and knock her out, or like even threaten to grope. Like, let's throw that out there. Like, you know, there's other, yeah. And that's the point that I'm getting at. It seems as though one situation, a small situation, in which, you know, if I put myself in his shoes as a grown ass adult, I'd probably be like, let's get you to a police station. That doesn't work. Hey, yo, I got shit to do. I got other shit to do on Mother's Day, you know, or Father's Day, whatever day it is, you know? Especially for Valentine's Day. I got shit to do, y'all. Like, I am not, like, you know, not gonna waste like hours of my time trying to like seem like a crazy person talking to no one, if you come to that realization. But the main point I'm getting at is like how quickly he escalates it. How quickly he's triggered. How quickly he's able to go ahead and like go from an individual that's supposed to start using your head, start trying to figure out a solution, to an individual that is literally like holding this little kid and like, you know, getting bitten and trying to punch or trying to hold or go into a brawl or so on. And it's like, if this individual gets triggered so quickly, is he the most stable individual? Probably not. Is there a purpose, you know, and I guess, can this individual become toxic to others? Absolutely. Can this individual have some fucked up attachment skills? 110%. Can this individual maybe, like, I don't know how to put it. For example, if he's had previous trauma and now that like he's actually stepping up to the plate, i.e. helped Senjo Kahara, so on, develop a weird hero complex or savior complex. Yeah, it's possible. But the number one thing is like this is a person that's in like high school, right? So if he's an individual that is currently in an education system and he's acting out like this, it just shows me that he's not at the level of maturity that's needed to process certain events, right? No character is ever self-actualized other than like Hamlet at the end, right? Or certain characters, like at the very, very end of the script, before they like pass away, do they start self-actualizing and processing things. But when it comes to Ara-kun, it's like he's for example, and I hate to put it this way, and I feel like I'm being a dick, but I'm trying to be a dick on purpose so that there's the ability for you guys to rationalize this way as well. If I was a villain and I wanted to trigger Ara-kun, what would I do? First off, I'd go after his family. Clearly, there's a clear distinction in his tonality that he's had with her, right? So, yeah, what I would do is I'd instantly start questioning even the morality of like how he gets along with his siblings. And if there's a purpose between him actually trying to get along with the siblings or him being a coward and trying to put up these walls for his own safety of admitting that he's wrong. Even with this, like, mom and dad, you could even start doing the same thing and start wondering why certain situations might be happening. Or even in the situation that you're in right now, like, did I really trigger you that bad that you're now going to go ahead and try and do something like this? And vice versa as well. You can play devil's advocate and try and trigger the snail by saying that they'll probably, or a ghost, that they'll always be lost, 101 ways you guys can take this.
他の女の匂いがするわね。
Bruh.
おう、戦場があら。
Best girl's back.
香りは羽川さんかしらね。
お前わかるの？
They have to get together, right? Right. Like, I can't be the only one that's thinking this, right? Like, I'm sorry. But first off, Senjo Kahara is amazing. Like, she might have her own issues and fucking trauma and shit. Don't even get me started on this. But I feel like she would tell you straight up if she has issues with you, which I appreciate 110 fucking percent. Like, but yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, for me, if I were to put people in a ranking in this show so far, it would be Senjo Gahara at the top off of this anime, and then probably, I guess, Hanekawa, right? Yeah, the president second, since it's the only real ones that we can go ahead and put up. But yeah. She's up there. She's a good, interesting character.
この間私に言ってくれたじゃない。
ただの変態野郎じゃねえか。
I mean, is she wrong?
まあ来てたよ。で、星野から話聞いてきたんだろ？戦場ヶ原。
Real question for chat. 110% real question for chat. If you've been in a relationship, actually even a friendship, have you guys ever encountered a really, really jealous friend or envious friend? Like, i.e. you have other girls coming interacting with you and they're really, really envious, or vice versa. If you're a girl and you have like, a really close friend or a guy or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, and they had other people coming up to them and like seeking their attention. What was like the point of like, like red flag, almost immediate red flag that you're like, oh shit, like this isn't normal level of fucking jealousy. This is like, okay, there's something up here. At what point did it click for you? Because we make a lot of excuses for our friends and even our loved ones. But yet when we think about it, once we're out of a relationship or even a friendship, when we think about it, we're like, oh shit, that was a little fucking weird, like that was even if it's like other friends taking up your time or whatever. I'll be honest, one of the weirdest examples that I have, right, is like sort of similar to Senjo Gahara, right? Where I was with this person for a long time, And it's like, I had other friends that would come and go, especially because I have a, decent sized place, like a little room and stuff. And they would come and go and hang out. We'd play video games and whatnot. I had a lot of friends that were girls. They'd come on over and chill and leave. Nothing sexual, nothing whatever, right? My partner at that time would come in and it's like, I don't know, like a weird, like outside sense or whatever, where like they'd be able to tell who was like around me. Like, I don't know, dude. It was trippy. And like it got to a point where they were like, let me check your phone. And I was like, boundaries. You can check my phone, but like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's going on? So it's being able to call that out. It's just interesting because jealousy can be such a weird motivator, a weird power move. Yeah. And that's exactly it. Like the most common things are like, for example, your partner trying to check your messages, or trying to check your Snapchat, or who you're messaging and whatnot. What's funny is I don't really use social media. I even suck at Twitter, even on Psyculturists Twitter. Like I'll post every so often, like practice self-care or whatever, because I don't really have time for it. Like not even Facebook, Instagram, anything. Like I'm rarely on it. But bro, I don't even have Twitter. Yeah. But like there are like partners that will literally be like, I don't know, who are you texting late at night? And it might be your boss, or it might be someone that you work with. And like the the implant of jealousy can be such a strong thing. And let me get this close because we're about to drop some truth bombs in here. We're about to get real quick. Often, individuals who tend to go through these big stages of jealousy and whatnot, aside from jealousy and aside from trauma, because we can even say like, hey, you know what, they've been hurt before and they're trying to use this hurt to justify their actions now, which, as we've talked about, if you've gone through trauma, that trauma is yours and should not be your partner's or your kids. Deal with that trauma in a way by going to therapy, finding out what works best for you, but passing on that trauma onto others, not cool, dude. Not cool at all. But there are individuals who will literally go into this infraction mode, especially like when it comes to partners, because they're either being like, there's high chances of infidelity, or they're thinking about it. So that's like a key warning sign as well, especially if there's no other sign. So let me just be a little clear in here. If you have a partner and your partner's acting a little sus, communicate, be open, be honest. Honestly, like find out what works best for you, Be direct. It's a lot better to be open and honest and talk about that. I think one of the biggest things that we're afraid to talk about as well in like relationship communication, relationship settings is like, hey, what happens if you catch feelings for another person? Scariest talk you can have, Metal Gear, a hindy. I know, dude. But no, like, what happens if you catch, like, if you catch feelings for another person? People are afraid to have these communications because they're like, oh no, we're meant to be together. We've always been this way. I've loved her since day one. And it's like, that's, like, no, dude, like, you have to talk about it realistically. Hey, you know what? If you start catching feelings for another person, or if you really want to work on a relationship and you catch feelings towards another person, I'd prefer if you let me know. That way we can work on things together. That way we can start setting up boundaries. Hey, maybe, you need to take distance away from them. That's cool. I'd appreciate it if you let me know up front rather than go around, fuck around, and then, you come crying and you're like, oh, no, didn't mean anything type of bullshit, And at the end of the day, you're the one that's like, that's left traumatized. Yeah. Oh, that's Otacon line. I don't think that's a Snake line, bro. Do you think that love can bloom on a battlefield, Snake? Yeah. Or was it Sniper Wolf? It was one or the other. Anyway.
の状況にそんなのあまり関係がありそうにも思えないけれど。
カタツムリ、迷い牛から解放される方法はとても簡単なの。
It has to come from you, yeah? You have to be certain.
でもそれでも言い訳はさせてちょうだい。悪気があったわけではなかったし。
Bruh.
わざとでもなかったの。
Bruh.
私はてっきり私が間違っているんだと思っていたのよ。
Is she gonna dip?
だってそうでしょう。2年以上もの間、私は
Fair, fair, fair. It's created because of you.
私には見えないのよ。
Yeah, yeah. Bro, did I not call that out? Brother, did I not?
ほんの10年ほど前の話です。あるところで一組の夫婦がその関係に終焉を迎えました。夫婦の一人
Yeah, I am proud of myself. I am like I gotta be honest with you guys. Sometimes I make wild ass predictions and like overshoot shit, but like I'm proud of myself when I'm actually able to like nail something like specific like that. Like it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, hey, you know what? I'm actually on the right track for once, right? Like a round of applause. Thanks, Sutsman. Round of applause there, yeah. But it's like. Because sometimes, like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like you can have 1,001 predictions and go off in any way, right? Because the narrative could be shifted. And for those of you that have watched the show before, like, I'm sure you guys would be like, what the fuck? How do you guess random shit, you know? But, like, my point being is, like, I don't know. It's like, okay, so then logically thinking, it's still sticking through some points of realism or reality. だから一人娘は母親に会いに行くことにしました。 Did she die or something? And it's like on repeat or something?
たどり着けませんでした。確かに青色だったの。その一人娘というのが
Fuck, don't tell me Chuck-kun.
以来ずっと迷ってるっていうのか、お前は。そうか。戦場ガールはまたおかしくなっただなんて思いたくなくて。
And she was being pretty fucking empathetic, dude. Like, let's be real. She took you for your word based off like the power dynamic that may have been in place since the other time. Because I don't know, she might actually like you. Because no. Don't try and excuse it now. Dark Thug, don't try and go in there and be like, oh, he didn't actually. We as the audience see the little snail girl thing. Bruh. Bruh tried to step in here. So technically, Ana-kun didn't really hit anyone. It's like, bro. Like, just because Shinji Gahara can't see it, don't mean that we can't see it, you know? But yeah, like, let's talk about trust. Let's talk about like the amount of empathy dollar store everything I'm talking about, boundaries and consent and 1,001 thing, apply to those that have passed as well. Otherwise you might have some necro dudes that might like necrophilic dudes that like they might dollar store. Oh no, especially after that comment I just said. Oh no, it applies to everyone and everything, hopefully. Oof, my heart. Damn. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I was just saying that she was really empathetic in that, like, overly empathetic in that regard, because anybody would have been like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. Don't care, dude. Just cry about it, get ratioed.
強力な怪異でもない。まず大きな害はない。そう言ってたわ。だからなんだよ戦場ヶ原。
Just walk away. My bro has some weird fucking attachment issues. My bro can literally like try and help everyone but himself, huh? Like this is what I'm getting. I bet you like even when like shit must have happened in the past, it took like literally like the extreme scenario that other people had to come in to try and help him. Because like, I don't know, it's sort of like when you put others ahead of yourself for so long, like you start realizing that sometimes you need to start putting yourself first as well. For your health.
そういうことを言わなくちゃならない気持ちを、それでも僕もお前も違う形で経験してきているはず。
But what does that say about you, dude? It's like this is what the fuck does that say about you? Like, you have a girl. Let's pretend, right? You have a really, really attractive individual. we'll label it up to whatever your age is. You go up to them, they're like, don't talk to me. I don't like you. And you continue. Yeah. And you continue to stay there. And, you know, even if it's like try and pull game or something like that, right? And they say it one more time. Don't talk to me. You know, I don't like you. At what point do you admit defeat and go away? Or do you ignore that and keep trying, like literally butting your head up against a wall? This says a lot about you as an individual, you know, accordingly. And granted, sometimes, even at work, we're given the impossible task of, like, you know, literally, like, you know, they give you impossible tasks sometimes to literally have you fail. And it's like, you don't want to fail. Of course you don't want to fail. But sometimes they give you, like, more than what's supposed to be for one person. You know, I'll admit it. Like, and you can apply this with almost anything, you know? Like, let's go, like, for example, I'll use my previous work or one of my previous employments where I had close to 80-something clients in my caseload. Counseling is, and this was all individual counseling, is 1 hour per person. Now, you have to see these clients every week, and you have to fit them all in a month period. How do you do it? It's an impossible task, in case you're wondering, because you still need an hour lunch break, and you know you have to take into account certain scenarios. Like, you can't go over a certain amount of hours, so on and so forth, you know, with other things. Yeah, it becomes literally like impossible at some points. And that's where you have to, you know, I'll be honest, those times were like kind of like breaking points at moments, you know? Where it's like, oh shit, like how do I do this? But what I'm getting at is like sometimes even in impossible moments, like you have to be okay with not being okay. You have to be okay with letting go, with not being the person that always can save everything or save everyone or being the hero or having the white knight complex 100% of the time, right? Otherwise, it can come back and bite you in the ass. Oh, damn.
もちろん綱出さんのお家よ。それから荒木くん。なんだよ。I love you.
Say that again. Let me rewind that a little bit.
荒木くん。なんだよ。I love you.
Alright, I'm good. I'm satisfied. This episode has satisfied me now.
おめでとうございます。
I'm like, this episode has satisfied me. We're good.
怪異としての属性が幽霊であるのなら、そこには情報的記憶
The ship has sailed.
情報的記憶と。
ところで荒木くん。まだ返事
Ah, she has a necklace.
どうするの？
いや、お前ちょっと勘違いしていると思う。
Oh, bro.
ほら、お返しがどうとかも言ってたじゃん。
Bro.
あれは口実。
Hey, you guys. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of what I called out as well. It was like a bait.
荒木くんにそこまでくんのこと、特別に感じていたと思うわよ。まあ、ちょっと大げさな物言いになってしまったけれど。
Bro, she's the best fucking girl because she's like straight up, like about like pretty much everything. Like she'll help you, she'll roast you, she'll fucking, I don't know. Best girl, dude. Best girl in this anime at least. And also she has a necklace. Oh no, how does this impact the rest of the show? I can promise you, Dark Thug, if we have anything that is immediately no, like, or like, you know, that are just like, I don't know, complete assholes, no. If you have any Yandere, no. If you have any, like, Yeah, because it's like red flag, red flag, red flag. I appreciate open communication. I appreciate getting roasted from time to time, but I appreciate like that directness, like that's a top score in my books. I'll be honest with you.
ちょっと優しく
Oh no, not again, not again, not again. Oh, oh no, oh no. That's not a. Wait, what does that say? First off, what the fuck does this say? Would you even fear death at this point if you're Arakun? Because, like, let's be honest. Like, you know, if you know that there are all these gods and spirits now that you can get promoted, apparently, and weird shit like that, like, what is the consequence of, like, I don't know, doing certain things, you know? But yeah, the dialogue in this is really impressive. I think the show just overall is pretty impressive in the terms of just in the terms of the connections that it actually builds. Like a lot of anime seem to focus heavily on the action sequences or like I don't know how to put it, like drama or all the ecchi stuff, whatever you guys want to go ahead and call it. But like hearing how I don't know, grand majority of this is literally just spent on like the communication aspect is wonderful. However, it makes it an absolute fucking nightmare to edit. It also makes it really difficult when you have like 1 second of a song and they copyright claim you because of it. What the fuck? So yeah, this is one of the difficult pieces. But is it wonderful to know about it? Wonderful to hear and wonderful to see the character interactions and their I don't know how to put it, like the promotions and the way that they're able to communicate with one another, the way that they're able to establish these like quickly set boundaries and whatnot. Yeah, I'm curious as to what comes next though. What is the next little arc that we're gonna see? And how does the impact of actually having, I guess, a partner or having Senjo Gahara say I love you and trying to build a relationship off of that? Like, well, Hanekawa. Well, let's be real, boys. Let's be real. Yeah, it's not even that masters. It's the music mostly. It's the sound. It, it's not even the thing. You know, it's quite literally like just the sound. It could be a background noise, and it's because this show is so littered with background music. Like 1 second or 2 seconds of that, it's like it's auto claimed. It's weird, but anyway, I wonder how Hanekawa is going to go ahead and take to this news. Is it going to be a positive reaction, or is this going to lead to like an Avengers Endgame style war where everyone's coming in and Hanekawa's holding like all the Infinity Stones and like you know like what's going to end up happening? Also, are we gonna finally? I got a bad feeling about Oshino, right? The dude. Are we finally gonna see like either him move on, like leave, die, maybe? I don't know. I'm just interested to see where his role goes as well. You know, there's a lot that can be because he knows too much, you know, and individuals that know too much, it never ends well for those individuals. I guess for myself included. Ooh, ooh, we'll see where that goes. But anyway, I appreciate all of you guys being here on, I guess, on YouTube first. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Practice that self-care, and we'll talk to you guys next time. For those of you guys still really is hard here. Oh wow, the tequila is hitting. The tequila is hitting. Wow. Anyway, for those of you guys here on Twitch, I really appreciate all of you guys being here. I'm actually going to call it a night because I am exhausted. I am tired. I've been dealing with a lot of like, no, I'm exhausted, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go rest for a bit. But I appreciate all of you guys being here. Practice some self-care as well. And I'll see you guys next time, probably Tuesday. Feel free to join us on for the what do you call it? the new game, Project Zomboid, or on Minecraft.